Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. 1/3 of the way to Christmas. It's what did I buy in April 2025. A little bit more this month than in the last couple of months. I've been putting a lot of effort into securing inventory for my patrons to put towards sealed sales in the monthly sales list. But this month, I picked up, first off, 2 additional boxes of Innistrad Remastered Collectors. Now, WotC was dumping these on Amazon for most of the month. They've pulled back on that in the last couple of days and raised their price up firmly above the market price. But we are only through the first month of the financial quarter, so there is still time going on later into the quarter for more and more dumps on this. In fact, I made a video showing that the dumps on this looked exactly like the dumps on Ravnica Remastered looked 1 year ago, down to the exact price they were dumping them for on Amazon. So I got these for $244 each, and today the market price is about $250. So the market has very slowly come down over the course of the month. So really, I did not get that great of a deal compared to the market price today as of making this video. So only about 2.5% below today's current market price. Look, join the Patreon and you will get real-time buy notices whenever I buy anything. And for these products that I get great deals on, you can buy those deals alongside me. You don't have to wait until the end of the month for the What Did I Buy monthly video to find out what I'm buying. Second up, we've seen a lot of cracks in the Pokemon market in the Scarlet and Violet era. Some reprints came in between late March and early April, and it created some weakness in the market temporarily. And I went ahead on that weakness and bought a little bit, dabbled in some of the current Pokemon, because, well, there are cracks in the market, but it remains to be seen when and how long those cracks will form into a true bear market. It could go on a lot longer, or it could completely turn around, but you have to make a decision at every moment of whether you are going to buy in that moment, whether you're going to sell in that moment. You can't go back in time and get the best deals. So I got these 2 Twilight Masquerade boxes for $203 each. The current market price this morning is $229. So I came in about 11% below the current market. And the same thing, in fact, I bought them on the same day, 2 Surging Sparks boxes. Same deal with this. We got reprints in April. The market came down briefly on the back of those reprints, and then it's mostly recovered since then. So I got these at $231 each. Today in the market, they are $254. So me and the patrons who came along with me on my real-time buy notices got them at 9% below the current market price. And lastly, for this month, I picked up 2 of the Journey Together Enhanced booster boxes that have the 1 little extra bonus promo card in them. Therefore, they are enhanced. Yeah, I paid $193. These are $202 today. So I got in about 4% below the current market price. Now, these have been showing a lot more weakness because, like I say, the cracks are forming in the market, and this was the latest release. So it did not exist and get released through the peak hysteria of the market. I think we are past the peak hysteria, but again, we don't know yet if this is a bounce and it's going to go up and get even crazier before the market breaks and goes into a bear cycle, or if we're on the downtrend and this is merely a small contained upwards period on what will turn out to have been a longer downtrend. So you can't tell, and at some point you have to buy. And these are the kinds of purchases that I always consider kind of hedging my bets. If these markets break further upwards, if economic data are good, if the TCG markets in general go back into a full-fledged bull panic, then these will look like really, really great cheap prices. If we're on the cusp of a big bear market and it's all down from here, well, then these are probably a little bit higher prices to have been paying, but 5, 6, 8 years from now, I won't care. So that's generally the way I think about it, is you have to decide if you're going to try to hedge those bets or if you're going to try to go all in on the conceit of your own omnipotence and hope that you can exactly predict the exact best time to buy and or sell. So the next Flesh and Blood release is not until June, so that's nothing to think about this month. We've got Destined Rivals coming in a couple of months. We've got, let's see, what's coming out on Magic? There's Final Fantasy is coming soon. And then we have Edge of Eternities later on in the latter part of the summer, and Spider-Man some point over the summer. So not a lot happening immediately right now. For my patrons, I am going to do an update to the early Final Fantasy collector box sales data. If you are not a patron, you will have to wait until 14 days prior to release for my first official look. But for my patrons, I've gone ahead and been tracking that one just because of how wild the sales have been so far. So I bought a couple other things. My patrons know about those. They have not arrived yet. And so I don't put them in these videos until I physically have them in my hands and I can put them on the videos. So market is, like I said, showing very, very slight weakness. Magic collector boxes are not all marching upwards in lockstep like they were 6 months ago. There are some still going up. There are some that have trended down slightly, and there are a lot that have been moving mostly sideways for a couple of months now. The Sword and Shield market, the bear market there is canceled. So going through and just looking at a bunch of prices this morning, pretty much everything has resumed the march upwards for Sword and Shield Pokemon boxes. Yes, all of those tens of thousands and millions of booster boxes we were promised were piled into everyone's closets, and that we were assured by certain experts would never be able to gain in price because of all those boxes everyone is hoarding. Well, I guess all of them are exhausted because the prices are marching back upwards again now. So, and again, as for the Scarlet and Violet market, well, it came down a little bit on the back of the reprints, and it looks like it's trending back upwards. I tend to think there's a better than 50-50 shot that we will go into a Scarlet and Violet bear market in the next 6 months. I think there's been too much hype on Pokemon for too long. It's become too overextended. It's to the point where you have YouTube channels that are not even about Pokemon, not even about TCGs, not even about any type of niche finance subject, and they're making videos about the current Pokemon market hysteria. That's how you know you've reached the peak, is when channels that normally don't dabble in any of this stuff have said, you know, this is a big enough eye turner that we can get some clicks by making a video on it right now. Like I said, I think we're closer to heading into a bear market than we are continuing into a renewed bull market. So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you bought this month. Sealed sale number 16 is tonight. That is going great. I have so much product lined up from folks I'm working with, other investors, a couple of whales, my own product, and man, there is so much opportunity. Like I've said in the last couple of months, I kind of hope we go into a bear market so we get a chance to stack it deep while the prices are low, like we did in 21 and 22 and 23 up until Black Friday. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.